Okay, hello there. Welcome to the tutorial on how to use YouTube's video creator tool. You may have heard of it before, and if so, you might have had some experience actually creating videos, but if you haven't, hopefully this tutorial will be useful for you. So as you can see, I'm in YouTube right now and I've signed in to my account. In order to access the creator tool, what you're going to do is you're going to scroll over here to the top right hand corner and click on your own icon and click on Creator Studio. From there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a lot of cool stuff here, but we'll go over all that some other time / potentially in another class. I'm going to go over to Create and then to Video Editor. Before I do that though, if you ever need it, YouTube has this entire audio library of free music that you can use for anything. It's all free stuff, so there's a ton of awesome, kind of cool content on there. Obviously, it changes based on the different genres that they have, and they actually get real artists to record all this stuff, which is kind of cool, I think. So if you ever need audio for anything, there's a huge library here for free. But I'm going to go over to the video editor, and you can see from here I have a whole slew of tools at my disposal, which is kind of fun. Bunch of videos that I've uploaded to my own account here, obviously. But for the purposes of this tutorial, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use some videos that are free on YouTube that under the Creative Commons license, and we're going to create sort of a mock video here. So if you've never used a video editing tool, hopefully again this tutorial is designed to help you use YouTube's free one. The first thing that you want to do is you want to give your project a name. So whether you call it BU459 project or anything you want, let's just call it that for now. The next thing you have is obviously you can upload your own videos and they'll all be shown here, which is what you're probably going to do. Another thing is YouTube does have some kind of free videos here. I don't think you're going to have use for any of those in this project. But the other thing that's up here is you can upload photos to this as well. So if you wanted to sort of add photos, you can sort of upload your own photos from in here, from your computer or phone or wherever, and you can just add photos and create a video just made entirely of photos, which is very easy to do. And for those of you who aren't too comfortable with using video, you can simply take photos and make a video out of it, which is cool. This is the music section where, again, this is pulling some free audio tracks that YouTube has that I showed you earlier. So if you want to add video to your, an audio track to your video, you can do that through this, and I'm going to show you all this stuff soon. And then transitions, which is kind of fun. So if you want to fade between certain scenes in a video, or if you want to fade between certain pictures or anything, you can do that using these. And then text, if you wanted to add a banner or a lower third or something, or a title of some kind, you can do that here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a really simple mock video. I practiced with one earlier, so I'm going to try and recreate that in this tutorial. So the first thing that I want to do is I actually want to start with just sort of a fading black screen. So I'm going to go over to my transitions and select a color fade, and then just click and drag that over here. So YouTube says my project is too short. Calm down, YouTube. I haven't even started really. So the first thing I'm going to do is you can control how long you have certain things on here for, drag it, and then it tells you in this area here how long the total video is. So in this section, I'm just going to start with a black screen. Okay, and so after you've done this little editing, you can close this and go back to the usual the default area. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a banner or maybe a title, let's say. So I'm going to click and drag that over. And I'm going to call my video Boats. Cool, right? And this title is going to stay on the screen. It says 2 seconds. I'm actually going to let it stay on the screen for maybe a total of 5-ish seconds, let's say. That sounds good. So thus far, I've got, if I start at the start here, I've kind of got black screen and then it says boats. Pretty cool. Okay, so now, as you can probably imagine, I want to find a video about boats. Conveniently enough, in this Creative Commons area, if I scroll down, oh, there it is. Sailboats in a marina. There's one video. I'm going to pull that over. That happens to be a 20-second clip Maybe I can trim that down a little bit, make it a, let's say a 10-second clip. Just kind of fun. I can do all of these fixes to it too. If I want to increase or decrease the brightness of the video, I can do that. I don't really want to do that in this case. I can throw on some cool filters if I want to, you know, if I want to be all Instagrammy and make it all cool. That seems kind of fun, so why don't I do that? When I'm done, I just close this off, and there it is. So now that's added. I think there was another boat video. Yeah, here's another one, a black boat. Why don't I just throw that in there too? Add it to my boat video. Now that's long. That's a whole minute. So I'm actually going to trim that all the way down to another 10 seconds or so, let's say. Another thing I can do is you hear there's a bit of audio on that video. I'm just going to go over to my audio tab here and actually take the audio completely out. So I don't want any audio on that video. I'm actually going to show you how to add an audio track, so we're going to do that in a second. I don't think this one had any audio. No, it doesn't sound like it, so I'm going to go back to this video. Maybe I can add a cool filter to this one too. Click on my filters, and why don't we add something like that? Seems kind of cool. Okay, great. Now if I start from the start, my video is about boats. And then it goes into this boat, plays for a couple seconds, kind of cool, pans around, which is kind of nice. Whole load of boats, and then it switches over, and I've got another boat. Great. So one of the first things I noticed, I think this title slide might be a bit too long, so I'm going to cut that down to, let's say, 3 or 2 and change. This is good. But I also don't like how fast things transition, so this is nice, this is all great, but then it goes pretty hard transition to that. So I'm going to add a cool little transition. So I'm going to go over to this bow tie looking thing, my transitions, and choose a crossfade and simply drag it in between my two videos, which is kind of fun. You're obviously going to play around with this, you know, as much as you want, and then you're going to get used to it yourself. So I'm going to put in another crossfade actually just right over there. Video clip is too short. Don't worry about that. That's fine. So here we go. If I play it, no, why is it giving me errors? Here we go. Let's try again. Oh, maybe it wants me to increase the length of my transitions, possibly. Come on, YouTube, work with me here. Here we go. Let's try this. All right, boats, which is great, and it's transitions over, and then transitions over again, which is kind of fun, right? So yes, that is a 30-second or a 25-second video about boats, but hey, you know, who's really counting? This is just a demo anyway. Now, one thing that I want to add to this, which will make it kind of cool, I think, is a bit of audio. So let me just actually firstly increase. Why are you not letting me increase the length? Okay, it doesn't matter. You're not being fun. That's fine. Let me go over to my musical tab here, and I'm going to pick a piece of audio to go along with this. New land seems fitting. Why don't I drag this over? I can always preview this, by the way, by hitting this play button right here. Yes, this is it. I need this. So I'm going to drag new land over, and conveniently it says right here, drag audio here. I'm going to put it right down there, and then as you can see, it's quite a long track. So let me cut that back so that it meets just the end of the video here. Okay, this is fine. YouTube is asking me to increase the length of my clips, so why don't I do that just to be a nice guy? Make this 20 seconds in length, and then maybe I'll make this another 20 seconds in length. Why don't I do that for you there, YouTube? Maybe you'll allow me to have transitions after that. Okay, that sounds good. Maybe I can increase the length of this just a little bit. Let's say to, I don't know, 5 seconds. I'm just trying to make that annoying warning sign go away. So if it's telling me I need to increase the length of my things. Now, obviously, the stuff that you shoot won't be as short as this little trial clip we're doing here. But as you can see now, I've added some audio. My word boats is in there. It's transitioning nicely. And you see, just by adding a little bit of audio to seemingly a random / very, very basic video of boats, it makes it a little bit more interesting. So the audio cuts out there, but I can obviously just increase the length of my audio clip towards the end of the video here, maybe make it go a little bit past the video. What I'm actually going to do now is, I'll close this off, I'm just going to add a nice closing to the video. So if I pick from one of my transitions here, let's do a color fade at the end, and then let's do a color fade to black here. So if I just, this timeline at the bottom here is what you can use to skip ahead and stuff, so I'm just going to skip ahead to the end, and then let's see how it sort of ends here. Hoping it just kind of fades to black, and there we go. So that's great. Now I think there's a way to make the audio fade as well, but in this video I'm going to let you play around with it and figure that part out. But you got the basics down here. I've sort of shown you how to create a really, really simple video, but mostly what I wanted to get you used to was all of these little functions that exist in this player. So now I've got my awesome video about boats. It's almost 45 seconds long, which is great. It's more than enough for an extremely generic video, but we'll leave it at that. So let's say I'm done for the time being. What I do next is I go ahead and hit create video, and what that's immediately going to do is just publish it straight away on YouTube. Obviously it's being processed, so it gives me this slightly upset face telling me to check back later. It's totally fine. One of the things I need to do though is I need to actually click this little pencil to edit my video, give it a title, which is part of the project. So I'm going to call this Amazing Video About Boats, and then give it a cool description. Let's say, I'm on a boat. Are you? No, let's just call it I'm on a boat. Obviously this is all just for jokes, but hopefully you're learning a few things here. You can give it tags too if you want, so this is where you would do that. Call it boats, or if you put a comma there, that's how you separate out your tags. So maybe let's say ocean as well, that could be another tag, and then jokes could be another relevant tag for this video. You can choose to make it a public, unlisted, or a private video. Private means that it's sort of locked and only those with a link or a password can view it. Unlisted simply again means it can't be found publicly, so those with a link are the ones who can view it. I realized I missed a T in my about, so let me just fix that. There we go. Add it to a playlist. All this stuff doesn't really matter. You don't need to add it to a playlist, but you can create a public or an unlisted video. If it's public, it just means that it's searchable. So people on YouTube, random strangers around the world can find your awesome video about boats if you want it that way. And then I can go ahead, hit save changes, and that's all good to go. So if I just hit my back arrow here, YouTube's still processing my video, but that's fine. Once it's done, anyway, this will all be good to go, and your video about boats, or in your case, whatever your video is, will be processed. So it has a title now, it has a cool description. Obviously, ideally, your description will be longer than that, but then soon you'll be able to watch your cool video. So hopefully that helped. If you have any questions or anything, please feel free to just give me a shout and ask me. It's a really, really simple tool, of course, but if you've never edited a video before, it is a really, really useful tool. And it's free. Who cares? Awesome. Thanks for watching.